There's the snake.
I did it, guys. I got him out without getting bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, can I just freak out for a second without making it feisty? Guys, my crazy snake got in the back of the enclosure tank. Ugh.
What do you want to say to them? What do you want to say?
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my jungle. Welcome to the jungle. I'm gonna start out today's video by giving you guys a warning. I am going to be feeding snakes today. I'm gonna be feeding snakes. I'm not feeding them live rodents, but I am feeding them. You're going to see them eating a dead frozen rodent, like all down their throats. So if you're not comfortable with that, if you're like a child, then ask your parents before you continue to watch the video, and just be aware that I'm feeding my ball pythons today. That's what we're doing in this video. I'm going to share with you guys me feeding them because I need to feed them today. So I'm going to be feeding my ball pythons, and I'm going to be giving you guys some tips at the very end as well. So you've been warned. You have been warned. So you guys know I have two ball pythons. You guys have met Malfoy before. He's like my white ball python. You've never met this little guy, so I thought I would introduce him to you. He doesn't have a name yet, so this is where I need you. I need your advice. He is I know he's a ball python lesser, but he's mixed with something else as well. I don't remember. I have to go back and look at the little notebook that I keep for him. But this is kind of what he looks like. He's usually more gold than this, but he's getting ready to shed here pretty soon. Like, he's starting to get very dull. I mean, he's not completely dull yet, but this is probably going to be his last feeding until before he sheds. But this is kind of what he looks like. He is the cutest, the sweetest, and he's sweet, and you can tell he's sweet because he's letting me touch his head. See that? And I know someone's gonna say,
Don't touch ball pythons' heads.
yeah, they don't like their heads touched. You're completely 100% right, because they have small heads compared to other pythons. But the fact that he's letting me actually touch his head means that he's pretty comfortable being held, and he's pretty comfortable with people. Anywho, so this is my second ball python. And I mean, I got him around the same time I got Malfoy. Not around the same time. It was like been a couple months. But he's maybe just over a foot long. I'm trying to spread him out, but maybe over a foot long. And he's just the sweetest guy ever. He is super sweet. I haven't really had any problems feeding him or feeding Malfoy, which is really good. They haven't gone on strike for me, except when I first got Malfoy, because I had to get him off of live feedings. That was a little bit difficult. But if you haven't seen that video where I share how I did that, I will put it up on an iCard so you can go check it out. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're feeding these ball pythons. I hope you enjoy the video. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified of all my future videos. And make sure you hit like if you like snake ball python videos and you want me to do more of them. So I need you guys' help. I haven't named him, and I was hoping that you guys would come up with some awesome names, because whenever I had Malfoy, whenever I got him, you guys came up with the most awesome names, but I had already named him at that point. I already named him Malfoy because my husband really wanted it, so well, gotta do what you gotta do. So, but you guys come up with the best names, so please comment below and give me a name, a suggestion of what I can name this little guy. What does he look like to you? What does he look like to you? I was considering naming him King Tut Tut because first off, I'm an Egyptian junkie. Man, I like that time, that point in that era in world history. The Egyptians, the pharaohs, the craziness, the gold, the eyes, the makeup, the baldness, the wigs. I like that whole thing. And because his skin has like that gold in it, which is more shiny and reflective whenever he's barely shed. So if he sheds before I post the video, I will share that with you, or I'll put it up on an Insta story when he's super shiny and show you guys. But because of his gold, I thought, oh, King Tut Tut would be a great idea. And because he's such a like sweetheart, almost like a childlike sweetheartness, I thought King Tut Tut would be a cute name. So let me know if you like that name, or if you have a better suggestion, comment below and let me know. You've been warned. I asked you what name. I asked you to subscribe. I showed you this ball python. I think that's it. So let's get started with feeding my ball pythons. Here's my Tupperware here. It says snake, so nobody uses it. And I keep it up in my bathroom. And here are the frozen rats. Dun dun dun! Okay, so there are the rats.
I keep telling myself, but I don't want to let you know. Is this what we become? Strangers on the run.
Definitely suggest keeping it in like its own little container here. Okay, so everyone has a different way of doing this, and I get a lot of opinions, and if you want other opinions, you can probably check the comment section because I'm sure someone's going to say something. But the way I like to do it is I like to stick them in this topper and defrost them. My snakes don't care if it's wet. They don't care, honestly, how hot they are. They'll just eat it if they smell it because they're so used to it now. So I'll basically ignore that piece of noodle. Okay. I'll just basically heat this up until it gets pretty hot, and then I'll just fill it up. And I haven't had any of my rodents explode. I know people comment and say that all the time. They haven't exploded. I definitely wouldn't stick them on the microwave. But anyways, I make it hot and I just leave them in there for like 5 minutes until they defrost. As soon as they're soft, I can go ahead and take them upstairs and feed them to my snakes.
That's the way every day goes. Looking back, I know we started.
I never drain it in my sink upstairs, a kitchen sink. That's absolutely disgusting. I'll drain it here in my bathroom, and then I will sanitize all of this.
For you, baby. When you left me chasing you.
Okay, so I'm warning you again, we're gonna watch this little guy feed. So if you don't want to see that, I'm pretty sure he's on this side. So I know he's under that hide, so I'm just gonna kind of show it to him, see if he'll come out. It's during the day, like I told you guys, so it's not normal for me to feed him at this time. Oh, there he goes. See his head? Nope. So gross. Look at that. The tail came out. He grabbed it so fast. So while he kind of like squishes that for a while and before he starts to eat it, I'm gonna go feed Malfoy. And then I'll be back to see how much he ate there. Alright, so here's Malfoy. He's already ready. He already knows food's coming. And the interesting about Malfoy is that sometimes he won't get the head good. And he'll drop him and then just eat him again. I'm taking out this bowl just to give him more space, which I do every single time. Yeah, see how the mice head is right there? So he didn't get a good latch on. So I'm gonna let him kind of strangle him and then see if he drops him and goes back in for the head. If he doesn't, I just pick up the mouse again and wave it in front of him, even though he already killed it one time, and he'll go back and eat it and just latch on the right way. So I just came back over here and it looks like he dropped the mouse and he's just like just staring at me. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, like I said, I usually feed them at nighttime, so we'll see what happens if he goes back and eats it. If he doesn't, I'll have to pick it up and put it in front of his face again. So yeah, he dropped it. Yeah, see how he's like striking at me? I think it's just tripping him out that it's daytime.
That's the way every day goes. Looking back, I know we started falling. We were falling in love, yeah. Took my heart and you wrote off. Was I feeling never enough for you, baby? When you left me chasing you, trying to find a place.
Okay, so before I sanitize these, I guess I'll show you. So he dropped the mouse because he didn't have a good latch on him. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do and what I do every time, and it works. I don't have to reheat the mouse or anything like that. Okay, so I got it out. I'm going to try to give it to him again. So now he got it and he got a good hold on it. So now he's good. Got his head pretty good. Now that I'm done, I have this mixture here that I made and created to sanitize. It's perfectly safe for human hands, but will definitely kill everything. So this is what I do to sanitize everything. It's like a little concoction. Maybe I'll do a video sharing like tips and stuff like that. If you want to see something like that, comment below. And the trick with this is you gotta let it dry. So I'm letting it dry. And this is how I clean all of their hides and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me feed my ball python and see how I prepare the rodents and all that kind of stuff, and I hope it wasn't traumatizing for you. I hope that if you're young that you asked a parent, they typically eat once a week, usually every Sunday. Today's Monday. I skipped yesterday because we had just like family Skype duo kind of thing going on, and then I had some work to do. But usually there's one day a week, every single week, that I feed them a rodent. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. Also, a couple of tips. Probably my number one tip for feeding your ball python is ball pythons are kind of different than other snakes. Each snake kind of eat different things. They eat at different times. Their breeds are different. So they live in different places, and some are nocturnal, some are not. Ball pythons are nocturnal. That means that they sleep during the day and they are awake during the night. So this is kind of like I'm woken him up in the middle of the night for him, basically in the daytime to film with him. But so keeping that in mind, I always feed my ball pythons at night. I didn't do that today because I wanted to be able to have some light to show you guys what I do when I feed my ball pythons, but I never do that. Although they'll eat for me now during the day because they're used to me and they're they're happy, they're not stressed out at all. If you have a ball python that's on strike or that's stressed out, feeding them at night might help, or offering them food at night might help. So that's kind of my number one thing. I always feed them at night when it's dark, and that's when they seem more willing to eat, because that's their normal schedule. They sleep during the day and they wake up at night, even in the wild. My second tip is to be so patient. Ball pythons, when you're first teaching them to eat, or when you're first trying to get them to eat, they're kind of slow at coming out of their little huts. I definitely wouldn't go in there and like lift up the hut, but I wouldn't go in there and pester him. I would just wait for them to come out, and they're kind of slow in doing so, and they kind of stare at it for a while. So patience is a big must. When I was first trying to feed Malfoy, I had to be so patient, and it took forever for him to take that first rodent. Like, he was staring at that thing forever. Ever. Like, it was so frustrating. But yeah, so patience is another tip you guys really have to have. That sometimes when you're sitting there for like 10 minutes, like holding the dang rat, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to take it until they just turn away and like slither back into their area. You know what I mean? Now, I know that a lot of people say you should maybe heat up your rat, you should not defrost them in water, maybe they don't like them wet. Some ball pythons can be really picky. Mine weren't. At first I tried using a dryer. That took way too long to heat up the ball python. I tried kind of measuring it with a thermometer, and I ended up, you know, and now that they're such good eaters, it doesn't really matter. I can feed them wet straight off of them being defrosted. As long as they're soft, they'll pretty much take it. And I mean, it's pretty easy now. It's the hardest part, I think, is getting your ball python kind of used to eating with you, or just eating in general. But I've been really lucky, and these two have not been all that picky for me. So I hope those two little tips kind of helped you guys. Maybe I'll do a whole video sharing a bunch of tips. I didn't want to share too much because I want to do a tip video, and I don't want to give you a big spoiler, because then what's the point in doing that video? Look how he's just like chilling on himself. He's like, seriously, I want to go back to bed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys like seeing my ball pythons. If you want me to do more videos with them, make sure to like, and don't forget to comment and tell me what you think I should name this little guy. I also want to give a big welcome to all the new subbies and the new jungle friends. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, for subscribing and wanting to see more videos from me. I really do appreciate it, and it means the world to me, and it's really exciting that you want to, I don't know, follow me in this journey with these pets. Look how just like sweet he is. He's just like so chill. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.